How encouraging was the work from Jackson Merrill out in left field yesterday?
Very encouraging. I mean, listen, you can't substitute for playing. He's got his work in, which, obviously proved to be beneficial. But, the ball finds you. And he makes a great diving play on a low liner that had some topspin to it. And then he goes back on a ball, gets a sun ball and handled that like a pro. It was not an easy play in a tough sky and a tough sun, and makes another play to his right. So very encouraging. Biggest thing for him was just the nuances of like the positioning, where to go, how to play guys. So that'll be part of his learning curve. But the actual making plays, that checked a pretty big box yesterday.
What's the balance between, you've got some young guys who could be competing for spots that could be bench spots potentially. What's the balance between like understanding that they still have room to grow and understanding that they could help you on your bench too, and they might not get as many reps there? Is there like kind of a fine line to walk there?
Well, spring training, listen, as we get towards the end of spring training, if I'm following the question, is, making sure guys are getting comfortable in the roles they may be in. Okay. Is that accurate?
Sure.
And so, the beginning part, we just want to make sure guys are getting out there, getting at bats, getting touches at different positions. So I think that's probably the best way to think about segueing those guys that may. First of all, we got to figure out who they might be, or bench guys may be in certain areas, and then beyond that, have an eye towards what that likelihood could be, where they're. If you look at the big picture of the club, where guys could slot into different places, and it's more about now putting them in those different positions to get them the touches, evaluate it, see how they react, and get them prepared for that opportunity moving forward.
And you've got a couple pitchers going today too who are in the back of the end of the rotation race. I imagine the evaluation's similar for this point in camp. It's just kind of get out there and then maybe make some more declarative judgments later. Like, you just kind of want to get their feet under them.
Yeah, that's fair. Listen, we want to get them out there, get them competing, get them acclimated to facing teams on the other side, and take it from there. So yeah, you got Brito obviously starting, and then Waldron following him. So that's a good opportunity for those guys today.
For a guy like Darvish that has done this as many times as he has, like, how does that kind of, shape your confidence level in him knowing that he'll be ready when called upon?
Oh, I got complete confidence that Yu's going to be ready. Him throwing a live BP today is, again, I alluded to it yesterday, it's way more about two things. One, allowing him to get built up in a controlled environment, and two, Darvish knows what he needs to do to compete at the highest level, which he's done for a long time. So it's a combination of things. So I feel really good about where Yu's at. I couldn't speak for him, wouldn't dare. But his body of work is very positive right now.
How many pitches are you expecting out of him today?
Out of Yu? Take his temperature, probably getting up to 40-ish.
Back to Jackson for a second. Do you still see him playing some center field in the Cactus League?
I can't rule it out. Back to Ace's question, we have a lot of competition, so and I know everybody wants to see, including me, maybe Jackson in center. We want to see Johnson in center. I want to see Azokar in center. I want to see maybe Mercado in center and Marcy in center. And there's only so many innings for center field. So, yeah, I do want to see Jackson in center field. And I look at it and try to – that's my job to figure out what that looks like and also create opportunities for every single guy we're looking at.
With Jackson in particular, though, how do you guys kind of view that potential challenge for him, given that he's trying to break into the majors as a 20-year-old and learning multiple positions might be, maybe up the difficulty in general? Like, how do you
it's a great question. We're very intentful about the work, and then we want to make sure he's getting the reps enough in the games. But again, it's not in a silo because other guys are competing as well. So, I also don't underestimate the work and the quality of work, not that's going to replace games, that takes place that's, in the mornings and in the afternoons. And Jackson's been very intentional now for going on 4 months of work and organized work here at the complex with instructors, including David Macias, our outfield instructor who lives here locally. So I feel like he's it's just there's not an ideal situation for it, regardless of how you structure it. But we use our experiences and our wisdom and partner with Jackson on what it looks like.